Welcome to the Green Tea Machine. I am Ryan.
And I am Sam.
And today we're going to talk about the first time we met each other and our early childhood.
Yes, that is the topic of discussion. That is what are we going to mostly talk about today's podcast. But before we get into that, we're going to quickly talk about how our last podcast, it went pretty good. We got a couple comments about the sound of it being pretty soft. It was mostly Matt.
Yeah, Matt's voice was pretty quiet.
But he would lean back, and he would sound like this.
Yeah.
And this was so far away.
He would lean all the way back in front.
I'm way back here.
So we reminded him not to do that anymore when he comes on the show again.
But we're gonna make us talk louder so that it'll be a better quality for you guys to listen to. Correcto. But first, we're gonna start a new segment to every podcast, starting now, Ryan. Starting right now, where we're going to give a little story, something interesting that happened to one of us recently since our last podcast, and I have a weird story / funny, depending on how you think it is.
Well, go ahead.
Should I go first?
Let me know.
Or should you go first?
I mean,
because yours is just
mine's just a regular story, but yours is. I'll go first because yours is funny. Mine's kind of just like a real thing going on. So recently, we sold our house, the house that I'm currently living in.
How long have you lived in that house?
11 years. 11 years we lived in the house that I'm currently living in. The neighborhood I lived in before was in Sam Rowan's neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's how we met each other.
Get to that.
When we moved out from that house, we didn't sell it, so we have been renting it for the past 11 years. And while we were living in our current house, so we sold our current house and are moving back into the property that we were renting in Sam Rowan's neighborhood.
So Ryan, he used to live in my neighborhood. We became friends. He moved away.
And now I'm coming back.
And you're coming back, baby. Coming back to say hello.
So I would be moving back in to my old house in Sam Rowan's neighborhood in the next few weeks. And recently I've just been moving furniture with my parents, lifting stuff. Matt helped out with me yesterday.
What a guy.
What a guy, yeah. He's a big dude. So
you had to feed him pizza.
Yeah, we did.
When you get a guy like that to help you out,
you don't give him money, you give him pizza.
You get him pizza because that's what he needs.
We ordered 3 pizzas from Domino's.
3 pizzas.
3 pizzas.
What?
For me, Matt, and my parents.
Yeah.
We got green pepper and onion, cheese, and tomato and spinach.
You didn't get pepperoni?
Negative. I don't like pepperoni. I'm not a huge fan of meat on pizza. I don't know why. Except for ham and pineapple. I dig it.
Ew.
I love ham.
No.
Love ham and pineapple.
That's
I love it. Other than that, though, like sausage, bacon, I'm not really all about it.
You're not like bacon on a pizza?
Bacon on a pizza. I'm not a big fan of bacon.
Yeah, because it's not like real bacon.
Yeah,
it's probably just
or sausage bacon. Or pepperoni. Chicken's okay.
Sausage is good. Chicken.
I like chicken. Chicken and onion pizza is good.
Chicken and onions?
Oh yeah.
You eat some.
Oh yeah.
I'm a plain guy. I just get pepperoni. That's all I need. Yeah. And garlic.
The garlic bites from Domino's.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Garlic bites. No, I'm talking about the cups of like garlic.
Yeah, the garlic sauce.
Garlic sauce.
Yeah, whatever it is.
I love
garlic
that,
vinegar stuff.
That's when you know you're fat.
Yeah.
Drain, not dip. Drain your pizza in the garlic sauce and then.
That's the way to do it.
So yeah, that's.
Dip your garlic bites in the garlic sauce.
I've done that. I highly recommend that.
There you go.
Totally worth it.
All right, well, that's my story, so
yeah,
go ahead with yours. I have not heard this yet.
I've waited. But, so at my work, I work at Martin's. I don't care about saying that. In Martinsburg, figure that. It's like, yeah. And we got a new Martin's in Hedgesville. Woohoo! Sure no one cares, but it's there. I don't work there. I work in Martinsburg. So anyways, I get a bunch of weird people that come into I work in the produce section because I stock produce.
Yep.
Woo! Best job ever. And so we get people that they're just something else. And I was stocking produce.
Like customers or people you work with?
Customers, not people. Well, we got a couple black jobs. His name's Cameron Bonner. Shout out to Cameron. He'll be on I know he wants to be on a podcast. I'm
Bring him on.
We'll have him on. We'll figure out that. But anyways, so there I am. I'm by myself stocking, and I see this old guy like 20 feet away from me, and he's staring at me. He's like staring at me like some old creepy guy.
How old would you say?
Like 60 or 70.
Okay.
and he's with his wife, but he walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, want me to educate you?" And I was like, "Huh?" It's like, in my brain, I was like, "Dude, what is this guy?" So he says, "Want me to educate you?" And I go, "Yeah, sure." I was bored. I was like, "Educate me, dude."
That's risky.
It's
With
risky
some
business.
random old dude.
Oh, a little creepy. But then he goes, every product in the store has like whatever chemical he said. He's like some chemical, and he's like, almost every product has this chemical, and it causes cancer. And I was like, what am I supposed to say? Yeah.
You should have been like, that's why everyone's dead that shops at Martin's. Psych.
That's why everybody dies. Yeah. So he says that, and then I was just like, yeah, okay. I forget what I said. I'm much nicer when I'm like
when you're in uniform.
when I need to be nice, but now I'm here talking about it. And then he goes, the human population can't sustain itself in the next couple of years. I was like, what?
He's one of those guys.
I was like, what drugs is this guy on? And he's just a weird. That might have been the weirdest conversation I had. I didn't know. Like, I also forgot to say, like, during the whole time we're talking, he is like right in front of me.
Like he's a
Like, dude, I can hear you.
A close talker.
He's a close talker.
Like,
Oh, I
breathing in
hate
your
close
face.
talkers.
Oh, screw close talkers. So I have a similar story about that, actually. One time I was in Hagerstown pumping gas, and this guy at the other pump looks at me, and he looks up at the sky, and he's like, "Hey, you see that?" And there's an airplane flying above, and it had like the jet streams coming out. Like, you've heard the conspiracy theories about like the jet streams.
The fuel
Yeah, like the smoke cloud coming out
Oh,
behind
it's bad?
airplanes. He's like,
poisoning the people.
yeah, like there's so many conspiracy theories about it, but he was like, he looked up and he's like, "Hey, that's changing the weather, right?"
Changing the weather.
Because this is in the wintertime, and he's like, "Yeah, we're supposed to have a big snow this weekend, and that's gonna cut down on the snow." And I'm like,
What a wacko.
I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And I get in my car, and I'm like, "Get me out of here!"
Yeah, get me the hell out of here.
And I drive away.
Was this recent?
This was like a few months ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think you might have said that, but I just forgot. Yeah, there's so many weird people in our area,
Yep.
but it's not that bad. So yeah, that's our segment. So hopefully next time we do a podcast, we'll have a story to tell. If we don't have a story, we'll just say something, because who knows?
We'll come up with something.
Yeah. This is all truth. This is a truth podcast.
Truth,
Baby.
and only the truth.
So, yeah. But before we get into something that happened recently, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
It's no secret that both of us are Game of Thrones fans. We talked about that last time.
On the first podcast.
And season 8, episode 1 came out, and you and I and Matt watched it together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
It was pretty much what I expected from the first episode of the season. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh,
spoiler alert! We're talking about Game of Thrones right now.
yeah. So if you haven't seen it,
If you haven't seen it,
watch it.
you deserve to be spoiled. I mean, come on now. Watch Game of Thrones.
It's the number one show on television. Like, what are you doing?
It is the number one show on television. And if you think wrong, put it down in the comments, and I'll argue that it is the best show. Bring it on.
The first episode,
a lot happened, I will say.
A lot happened, but I feel like
Fast.
nothing happened at the same time.
Like nothing happened.
Like, there was no crazy action scenes or anything, which, I mean, you can...
The flying scene when Jon was on the dragon.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
People have been waiting for that for years.
Yeah, I feel like that was a bigger moment than I, considered
Than
it
you
to
thought
be.
it was going to be?
Yeah.
It was a bigger moment for, me and other older fans.
Yeah.
I'm fairly older.
People
than you.
have been saying that Jon's going to ride a dragon at
And it
some
makes
point.
so much sense.
And they did that in the first episode.
But people have been saying, people have always been debating, who's the 3 dragon riders. It's been Daenerys, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jon, because... Well, do you know why Jon is made to ride that dragon, specifically?
Not that dragon specifically,
It's
no.
because that dragon was, it was named after
His father?
Jon's real father.
Real father, yeah.
Rhaegar?
Rhaegar?
The dragon's called Rhaegal, I think. Getting all nerdy here.
Yeah.
But we keep it nerdy. So Jon was supposed to ride that dragon, and people were like, well, who's going to ride... Do you know the third dragon was
The
named
Night
after?
King rides the third dragon, right?
Well, yeah.
I don't know, no. What?
His name... like Viserys or something after Dany's brother.
Danny's brother who got melted.
He got his face melted.
The
Or his head melted.
Hot crown.
A crown for a king.
And
that moment, yeah.
Probably the biggest thing that happened in the episode was Jon found out who his real parents are.
Probably the biggest
found out
spoiler
his
there is.
true lineage.
Yeah, what a character.
And I feel like it wasn't that big of a moment. Like, I thought, picturing in my head, I knew he was going to find out eventually. But when he actually found out, I was like, oh, that wasn't really that big of a deal.
Yeah, it is supposed to be a big deal. I know what you're saying.
It's supposed to be a huge deal, and I just feel like it wasn't.
It's going to cause problems. So we'll speculate on the next couple of episodes. So if you watch Game of Thrones and you want to hear what we talk about it, go ahead and listen.
Mm-hmm.
But people are saying, like, Daenerys, she's going to have problems with it.
Probably.
That she's probably... This is what's going to happen. She's not going to believe that Jon has a bigger claim. And then that's going to cause us problems.
And they might even try to, like, fight over it. Like,
yeah.
I deserve the throne. No, I deserve the throne. But I feel like Jon, I watched a YouTube video about it, and when Jon found out, the first thing he said was that he didn't want to be king. He didn't even worry. He didn't even worry about the fact that he was hooking up with his aunt, Daenerys. He didn't say anything about that. First thing he
said
was
treason.
Yeah, that's true. That's treason for him to go against the queen.
Oh.
Because he now has a higher claim to the
Maybe
throne.
I guess he doesn't want to think about that.
Well, he didn't.
But that's normal for Targaryens, if you know that. How they interbreed to keep the bloodline pure.
Blood.
Pure, yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Well, it is kind of frowned upon though, because Jaime and Cersei though.
Well, that's brother and sister.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's true. They're still family, but
yeah, it's rough. So that's a quick little recap on.
Well, do you have any predictions for episode 2?
Well, it ended with Jaime. And
looking at Bran.
I will say Jaime he's one of my favorite characters. We'll talk about this right now.
Yeah.
This might just be a Game of Thrones podcast. So my favorite character, I've been saying this for years, is the Hound.
The Hound, yeah.
I don't know if he's one of your favorites.
He's probably my favorite, honestly.
He's definitely my favorite. Other than Jon and Tyrion, Daenerys are everybody's like favorites.
The main characters.
They're like, yeah. But like if I really think about it, it's the Hound. So if anybody else likes the Hound as much as I do, holla holla, rock on, suckers. Yeah. So they ended with Jaime, who's also he's like in my top 5 favorites.
Mm-hmm.
He's had the best character arc.
Yeah.
Biggest transformation. Going from the guy that you hate the most, well, you really just hate him.
Yeah.
And then he turns out to be like an actual decent guy.
Yeah. I hated him the first 3 seasons. Yeah. And now I love him.
They did a good job of.
They really redeemed him.
Yeah, they redeemed him, and he still has more redeeming to go. So him and Bran stared at each other. So we're gonna see what happens next with. We saw the teaser for the next episode.
Oh yeah,
we watched it
at the end of the first episode.
Yeah, so they're gonna get into it with Jaime.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to prove himself somehow.
It almost looked like they were gonna get in a battle, but at the same time, they could just be like promoting the battle. Like the next episode could end with them about to fight the White Walkers, which would suck if it did.
It's gonna suck. But man, we only got 5 more weeks. Yeah, we also have Avengers.
Oh, we got Avengers Endgame coming up. Avengers Endgame comes out a week from tomorrow. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Well,
you can watch it on
Thursday night.
That goes for every movie.
Yeah.
It's a little secret if you don't know.
A little secret if you don't know, yeah.
So when movies say that they come out on this day, you can technically watch it the day before, but you gotta watch it at night.
We've done that many times with Star Wars movies, Marvel movies.
We didn't do it with Infinity War. I think we only did it with Force Awakens, Last Jedi. We didn't do a Solo.
Did we do it with Captain Marvel?
Yeah, we did Captain Marvel. We had to. But,
we saw Infinity War early, didn't we?
We waited. I remember we waited. But anyways, we got Endgame. We're excited for that.
Yep.
Almost as excited for Game of Thrones, but it's still one of the really...
I don't know.
I'm more excited for that than I am with Star Wars.
Oh yeah, Star Wars Episode 9, I don't care about that.
Good God.
But I'm basically tied with how excited I am for Endgame and Game of Thrones.
Really?
I'm pretty excited for Endgame.
Well, that's because you binge watched seasons 1 through 7.
Mm-hmm.
and now you're on to 8. But
Yeah.
I've been waiting. I had to wait 2 years for this season, just like a lot of other people. So we got that coming up soon.
So now we're going to talk about
Now
what we planned on talking
what
about,
we wanted to talk about.
which is how we met and our early childhood and stuff we did and all that garbage.
Well, we're going way back.
Way back.
Way back to actually our first conversation. Because
14 years ago.
yeah, we're both 19. It was like 2003.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
I think it was 15 years.
Yeah.
But I remember our first conversation. And I don't know if you do.
Yeah, I remember.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
But this is all I remember. I remember I saw you
Where were we, though?
at a bus stop.
We were at the
I'm
bus
not
stop.
giving specifics.
Well, yeah, obviously, but
We're at a bus stop.
we're at the bus stop in in our neighborhood.
Yeah. And so I walked up to him before we got on the bus because we were both going to Hedgesville Elementary School. And
No, we weren't in school yet.
we weren't?
No.
Our sisters were
Our
going to
sisters were going to school, and we would just walk down with them and our
Hedgesville. We were,
parents. Because we had nothing else to do.
we were
It's 7
4 and 3
a.m.
years old.
Yeah.
And so I walked up to you and the first thing I said was, "How old are you?" Something along that line.
Yeah.
And you...
And I said, 3.
3!
Little 3-year-old Ryan.
I'm 3 years old! You just said 3. I remember you said 3.
Yeah.
And then you
And
asked...
And then that's all I remember.
No, you asked me, like, how old are you? And I was like, 4. I'm 4 years old. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
That's exactly how you said it. From Boston.
Yeah, I'm from Boston.
And then we were friends forever. After that.
That is how we became friends.
And then I would start coming over to your house after the bus picked up our sisters, and we'd play Donkey Kong Country, and we'd
On the Super Nintendo.
and we'd eat peanut butter and jellies and
Squishies.
and
Remember
Squishies.
Squishies?
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, I made it. For those of you who don't know, well, none of you know, because I invented this food called Squishies. What you do is you take a slice of white bread, you put...
It better be white.
Better be white, because it's better. Because it's not wheat bread. Wheat bread sucks.
Yeah, it does suck.
Take a slice of white bread, put some butter down on it. Butter first, followed by cinnamon and sugar. And then you fold the bread over top of each other, so it's like a half a piece of bread folded, and you squish the living heck out of it. You squishy it until it becomes basically dough again, and then you eat a ball of bread dough with butter.
It's basically like crack for little kids.
It is crack for little kids.
Cinnamon and sugar. It gets these kids high.
Dude, I would eat squishies all day.
I remember eating squishies.
Oh yeah.
That was it's been for. We gotta mix some soon. Get a total sugar rush. Sugar and cinnamon rush.
And drink some green tea. Oh, shout out to green tea.
We didn't know what green tea was back then.
You're right. That was a recent discovery.
Recent and the greatest.
So, what else did we do in our early childhood?
So we were friends first, and we all of us made neighborhood friends.
Yeah.
So we were part of the generation where we played outside mostly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm proud to say that, but like, you know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
we also had video games and
we did play a lot of video games.
TV and internet.
We watched a lot of SpongeBob.
Sort of internet. We watched a lot of SpongeBob.
Yeah, we weren't really allowed the internet
Yeah.
until we were older. But what was I gonna say? So we were outside people for the most part. Our parents would like go play outside. And
we would ride our bikes.
We'd ride bikes,
play manhunt, and run around.
little 5-year-olds run around the neighborhood.
Times have changed.
Times changed, man. Well, this was I was gonna say. Like little kids today, all they do is play
Video games.
Fortnite.
Oh,
all they do is play Fortnite, little crackheads.
Yeah, because your mom's a teacher.
Drinking Mountain Dew.
Your mom's a teacher, and I remember she told me that
all they talk about is Fortnite.
All they talk about is Fortnite.
Bunch of fourth graders.
A bunch of fourth graders, yeah.
I'm glad like we were over like our like childhood games were like Modern Warfare 2,
Mm-hmm.
Halo,
Donkey
3,
Kong Country.
Donkey Kong Country. Anybody knows
Super
what that
Smash
is?
Bros.
Smash Bros. Baby.
Mario Brothers.
Woo-wee.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Dance Dance Revolution.
Twister. Monopoly.
Twister might be the best video game.
Twister is one of the greatest board games of all time.
Is it a board game?
I mean, it's
the
like
ground game.
Ground game, yeah. One of those ground games.
Break. I wonder how many injuries have had. Dude, we gotta look that up. How many Twister injuries have been?
That's kind of embarrassing.
Snapping
But we
ankle.
also played like baseball together as a kid and basketball
Yeah, we
together,
did
rec league
sports.
basketball.
we would mostly be on different teams, but that was later. So, but before we got into sports, when we were too young for sports, we would play in our neighborhood with like other boys like Eric Sween. We'll say his last name.
Tommy
Hafner. And his brother. So we play with older guys too, and I'll also tell some stories later about that.
Zach Gamble. Anthony Sinesco. Remember that guy?
I remember, dude. I don't even want to say. I don't know if I should say it. He was like a mean kid. You know, some kids were just mean.
He was a meanie. Every
I'm sure he's nice.
He's probably. I mean, if I saw him again, I'd be like.
We were too young to know.
If I saw him again, I wouldn't even recognize him.
That's true. I can't remember what he looks. He was your friend. He lived next to you.
Yeah, he lived right next door to me. He's the one that kind of introduced me to like.
I remember he introduced me to Jackass.
Oh, the TV show. Jackass?
I remember I was in his house with Chris Hafner, and we were watching Jackass. There's more people. And I was like, "What is happening? Like, what? Who are these idiots?"
And your life changed forever.
Yeah. So that's just one of those weird memories.
He introduced me to like the PlayStation 2, and then I got a PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2.
And he also introduced me to like WWE wrestling. And I used to be crazy about that as a kid.
Oh god.
And now it sucks.
Yeah. I don't want to give my opinion about WWE. I can understand why people like it. It's just it's not for me.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it at that. But so we had an outdoor and indoor childhood. A lot of friends.
Long summers. I remember long summers when we were kids.
They were super long. And we played a lot of basketball. Basketball was probably the main thing that we did.
In our neighbors' driveways.
Yeah, so we'd play in Eric's driveway because he had like the best like little
setup. Little hoop-de-hoop setup.
Little driveway setup. And we played there mostly. And there'd be like 6 or even like 10, 12 people there all playing basketball.
I would always be afraid to jump in because we played with like bigger kids.
Oh, we played with
like
bigger kids.
8th graders when we were
like... We weren't afraid.
And when we were like 6 or 7.
Yeah, we were young. We were some youngins. But, so yeah, we played a lot of basketball. And through the years, we made more friends. And we played basketball. One thing that I did more than you done in my neighborhood was football.
Mm-hmm.
Backyard football.
I think I've only done that once.
Once?
With you here.
Seriously? Dude, I played
the only time I can remember is it was me, you, Tommy, Chris Hafner, and...
The squad.
Were the Zimmerman kids?
Yeah, the Zimmermans.
I remember doing that in their backyard one time.
Yeah, that's where we played. I played so much. I would play in like middle school. This little middle school kid with high schoolers. And somehow I survived to live to tell the tale. But, so yeah. I kind of miss that.
Yeah.
I miss the good times of football and just tackling each other. You don't do that anymore when you're adults.
Yeah.
You don't have a chance to just...
I'm not going to go out there and tackle somebody.
Because you know what you'll do? You'll probably like break something.
That's true.
When you're a little kid, you can just jump off of stuff and land. You're like a cat.
No fears.
No fears.
Oh, we would also... Oh, we got to talk about this. In the wintertime, when it would snow, we'd go sledding down Tommy's backyard all the time.
Yeah, and we would come very close to damaging ourselves, but hey, we still did it.
And we'd swim in Eric's pool.
Yes, because he had the only pool that we knew.
The only pool around here.
A lot of great times in that pool. Not many bad times. Do you remember I don't know if you ever played the game, but if Tommy or Eric or
it's called The Game.
Is that
what you called it?
No. Well, I don't think we called it anything, but we'd have like 2 teams. I wish Eric or Chris were here, or Tommy or Zach, because he played with us. A lot of people played, and one person would be holding the ball, and the other team would have to tackle you and get the ball, and then they would have to hold on to the ball, and you would just like, it's like I don't even know what they call it, but
in the pool.
You would in the pool or out of the pool. So say like Tommy was holding the ball, and I was on the other team. I just run up and just clobber him. And take the ball and just like pass it to my teammates. And we had the ball.
Tommy would have to sit down for like 10 minutes.
He'd get up and just run after the guy with the ball. It's like instant madness. I can't, yeah. Man. Now, I'm really surprised nobody got hurt, because we would tackle each other, like, on concrete.
Yeah, like Eric's pool, surrounding his pool is concrete.
And we'd be playing around adults, and they didn't care. They probably thought we were a bunch of just crazy people just running around tackling each other. But nobody got injured, and that's different now. Most kids are weak. They're weak. Fortnite playing, Mountain Dew drinking.
Weak sauce.
Weak sauce kids.
And then, so I made a lot of friends living in this neighborhood and around this area. And at the end of 5th grade, I found out that I was going to be transferring schools because the new high school was being built, Spring Mills High School, which was in my district. And my family got a letter that said they're redistricting the county, and I'm going to have to go to Spring Mills High School, even though I'm like,
that is so
even though
dumb.
I'm like half the distance from Spring Mills High School to get to Hedgesville.
Yeah, you could literally bike your way
to Hedgesville.
and
in about the same time it takes me to get
to drive to Spring Mills.
Yeah.
That was just stupid.
So I had to leave all my friends behind. You, everybody I hung out with in like 5th grade, all through intermediate school.
You moved away from...
Moved to Spring Mills, which is only like 10 minutes away, but I knew nobody.
Yeah, we had to get our parents to drive us around, and you'd have to make your own friends, and so that was middle school, and that's basically where we want to end up, ending this.
Yeah, because middle school we got into sports, we got into track, basketball.
But before middle school, we did sports. But we'll talk about that next time.
We did like rec league sports and little league, Hedgesville Little League.
I got some stories about that.
Oh yeah,
I'll have to think about them more. Some pretty funny, awesome stories. But so yeah.
What do you miss more, rec league basketball or little league baseball?
Baseball?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Baseball just gave me anxiety. I was never good at baseball.
I wasn't really either until my last year of the league. Then I got really good.
You became a beast.
I got good like out of nowhere. I don't even know. And then I just stopped playing because I started running track.
The track is the best.
Track screwed me.
Track screwed you.
So I've said this before, but I'll say it again. If I could redo high school, I'd play baseball and not run track.
Really?
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 We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about high school sports and all that later.
No way.
But yeah, I used to be good at baseball, and then I got really good one year, and then I never played anymore because I started running track.
You'd be one of those baseball guys.
Yeah.
Why not do both?
Well, they're both spring sports.
There's a kid in mine, his name's Seabass.
Yeah, if you want to die, you can do that.
And he died.
He died.
Wow.
More power to him.
More power to him. He died and he came back to life. So yeah, we'll talk about track. Well, if we do talk about track, I probably want to get some of the track people I ran with because it was pretty great.
Track was the main part of our high school
was
career.
My main focus during high school because
we both ran for 5 years, right?
Yeah,
5 years.
But I'll have to get oh man, I probably can't get Sam.
Yeah,
he lives in Arkansas now. Arkansas. But we'll figure that out. So we got track conversation coming up, but I think we wrapped it up here. Got everything we wanted to do. Went a little overtime, but hey, as it happens.
As long as you're still here, that's all that matters.
As long as you're still in our hearts.
As long as you're enjoying it.
Yep, so we'll end it now.
I guess we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for listening, if you're out there.
If you're still there.
If you're still there.
Probably had enough already, but so make sure to... This probably sounds so dumb when I say it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Absolutely.
But, yeah. Just
follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter. Go check out the Blind Wave Twitter account. Just follow us, because, I mean, let's just be honest. Just follow us. Do I need to say any more? You don't need to follow us, but you can if you want to. Be sure to like our tweets about it. This should be coming up soon. But, hey, you're already listening to it. Inception. Alright. So
catch you later.
Catch you next time.
Have a good one.
On the Green
Tea
Machine.